Regards Tegbe and Babalola, yes, they come with prerequisite experience. Prior to now, Tegbe had worked on many things in the power sector, infrastructure, embed, bulk payment, and things like that. But originally, I mean, he called his teeth in KPMG, he was a senior partner at KPMG, and he comes with that technocratic experience. But how is he going to cascade it down to the power sector? I mean, that's the big question, And how is he going to be able to navigate? I'm sure probably that's why they put someone in the frame of Babalola there, that have had some hands-on experience in the power sector to be able to provide an advisory role and to be able to rejig things. So is this a confirmation that Adelabu did not do well, was a total failure? Because if you have to now put in people to be able to rejig the power system architecture, I thought government was a continuum. So that means, is it safe to say Adelabu failed tremendously in the power sector that will make President Tinubu now, try to rejig things at this point in time? So our time will tell. Two things. So this will be for the PDP and the ADC. At first, no party did win. So the two parties claiming victory in the PDP, I don't know, factions or parties, yeah. I don't know what they're seeing. Because in as much as the Ibadan Convention was nullified, also the case of Anyang and the convention that they held afterwards, the Abuja Convention, it's as good as nullified because there was no recognition for them. And there lies the problem. And that's why the BOT have come in this morning to be able to reconstitute the party, as it were. So for those that are selling forms already, the Wike faction, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. For those that have quickly aligned with the Wike faction, I don't know what's going on there. Because in as much as the Turaki faction didn't prevail, the Wike faction too, because of that Anyanwu conundrum, have been dragged into this. Anyway, subject to interpretation. I hear some of their lawyers came and said the interpretation was wrong, the way people are reading it was wrong and everything. But as time goes on, probably we'll be able to see the meat of the judgment with the CTC and all of that. So I think it's left the PDP in a precarious situation now. So the question is, how quick will the Board of Trustees be able to set up something, an interim structure, advise the PDP in such a way that they can get out of courts? Because if something interim is set up and both parties still try to wriggle their way through the courts, doing a lot of forum shopping, it's not going to augur well. Because forum shopping got the PDP to where they were in the first place, as regards even the Ibadan Convention. So can they truly sit down? I would like to doubt. Because the Wike faction have said where they are going. They want to support President Tinubu. Turaki faction has other ideas. Will Turaki faction now say, okay, let's just leave it for the Wike faction and go and join another party? I see they've been hobnobbing with the ADC. Can that be an option? I do not know, because the ADC also equally has its problems. Yeah. Will they say they should stick it out? Will Adolphus Wabara be able to bring all the parties together now, with the BOT and what they're going to do, bring the chair of the BOT? I don't think that's going to be quick enough, because you just have a 31-day timeline. Today is the 1st of May. By the end of this month, they should be having a candidate. Is that in the horizon? I pretty much doubt. So it's a little bit hazy there. As regards the ADC, Dr. Abati, you called it rightly. There was a lot of legal mismanagement in the ADC case from the start. Because what the Federal High Court told them to come and do was to come and show cause. They didn't need to go to the appeal court. Then the appeal court effected status quo antebellum that we now had to go to the Supreme Court. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not even sure that the judgment had been given in the Federal High Court.
No.
No, because it was just interlocutory injunctions being filed, and they were asked to come and show cause. So why do you take 3 steps when you could have taken the first step and you caused a lot of problems for yourself? So now the ADC too has been able to waste their own time in all of this. That's one point. So now they will have to come back and show cause. But I also hear that the judge taking on that case has been elevated. So in wasting their own time, they will now have to reassign. How long will that take? When will that judgment come out? My advice for them is this is the time to start talking to NAFIU if they truly want to get something out and be able to get some leeway as regards time before that judgment comes. The second point, and the most critical point, is a judgment that happened on the 29th of April, which is about the state chairman. I think that's even more substantive because that judgment has nullified all the David Mark faction has done. Because if those state chairmen go with that judgment from the Federal High Court and go to INEC today and say, this, we have a judgment, David Mark faction will be in trouble. David Mark faction, leadership of the party, will be in trouble again. So I would like to advise them. I think it's time to go and beg those state chairmen, because they were trying to impose themselves on those state chairmen. I also heard on good authority that the reason why the conundrum happened with those state chairmen, they tried to remove them, is that some people wanted to put their people in the position of state chairman leading up to when they are going to be able to select presidential candidates. So it was a fight for the presidential candidates. And the state chairman felt disgruntled. And that's why they went to court. So can they quickly go and beg those state chairmen, bring them on their side so they can have unity before they now go to fight the NAFIU? But even with fighting NAFIU, they have to be able to beg NAFIU, because they have also wasted their own time. And all of this, the race is for the end of the month, because end of the month they have to get a candidate one way or the other.